This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Football is back.
Let's go, baby!
On July 26th and 27th, teams across the league take the field for Back Together Weekend, presented by YouTube TV.
Let's do this for the fans!
With 2 full days of practices, player interviews, and behind-the-scenes access, it's a can't-miss NFL reunion.
Whoa!
Back Together Weekend, presented by YouTube TV, July 26th and 27th. Go to NFL.com/BackTogetherWeekend for more information.
Come on, why is this taking so long? This thing is ancient.
Still using yesterday's tech? Upgrade to the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Ultra-light, ultra-powerful, and built for serious productivity. With Intel Core Ultra processors, blazing speed, and AI-powered performance that keeps up with your business, not the other way around.
Whoa, this thing moves.
Stop hitting snooze on new tech. Win the tech search at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Unlock AI experiences with the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, so you can work, create, and boost productivity all on one device.
Saks off 5th, up to 70% off every day. Summer is officially here. Time to dress like it. From breezy linen and floral dresses to chic sandals and beach-ready swim. Saks off 5th has the designer styles you'll live in all season long. Plus, shop new arrivals every week. You'll find Alice & Olivia, Valentino Garavani, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for up to 70% off every day.
Fantasy Football Training Camp is back at Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Join Paul Charchian and the Fantasy Football Weekly crew on Friday, August 15th in the full deck ballroom from 6 to 9. Enjoy elite fantasy football knowledge and your shot at winning $1,000 grand prize. Get the full details now at KFAN.com keyword calendar.
My bread is in the toaster right now.
You're going to set the place on fire.
Abby, you want to go get it for me?
You could eat your lunch before the show.
I was going to eat during the break.
I'm doing something. I'm busy.
I figured you were. Kara, if you ask a question and I give a long answer, would you run out there and get my bread out of the toaster?
Go grab your bread out of the toaster while you answer.
Yeah. So go. Let's start 5, 3, 4.
All right.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Vision for the division.
Ooh.
The division.
Well done.
Question number 1.
That's okay. It works. I know you want to ask about the collision division or vision or division, whatever it is.
Yeah, all right, Common. Who will win the NFC South?
First of all, you have to tell me.
Is this your long question?
Well, first of all, you have to tell me who's in the NFC South because I have no idea. There would be Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Carolina, and Jacksonville. Is that right? No, Jacksonville's an AFC team.
All right, we've got the Saints, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Buccaneers.
That's who I left out. Say those again. Bucks, Falcons.
What? Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Buccaneers. Are you going to give me a long answer and you want to get the toast?
No, because I don't know anything about any of these teams. I'll go with Buccaneers. I'll just go with that.
All right. Final answer?
This is why he has 5 questions. You asked her, he said, I thought we just did 3. Right, but in case it's a real short one like that one, then we have to have backups.
All right.
Okay.
Question number 2.
Oh, hey, thanks.
You have the toast?
Yeah, it's perfectly done, too. Okay, question number 2.
It's now time to take an in-depth look at the welfare of the wolves.
All right, ESPN.com put together Western Conference tiers after the flurry of moves this offseason. No surprise, but they have the Oklahoma City Thunder in Tier 1, the clear-cut favorite. In Tier 2, we've ready to deny a repeat champ. They have the Houston Rockets, the Denver Nuggets, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. In Tier 3, the old guard, they have the LA Clippers, LA Lakers, Golden State Warriors, and the Dallas Mavericks. In Tier 4, young and hungry, they have the Memphis Grizzlies, San Antonio Spurs, Portland Trailblazers, and then in Tier 5, what's the plan? They've got the Sacramento Kings, Phoenix Suns, New Orleans Pelicans, and the Utah Jazz. Do you agree with their Western Conference tiers?
Could you repeat those tiers again?
Yeah. All
no, I'm
5?
Just kidding.
Do you want a summary?
It's okay. No, I just wanted to see if you were actually going to do it. So they've got Oklahoma City all by them lonesomes, right? By themselves. They're Tier 1 by themselves. Is that what you just said?
All by themselves.
And then there were 3 teams in the next tier. Nuggets,
the Rockets, and the Wolves.
Nuggets, Rockets, Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where's Golden State? Isn't Jimmy Is Buckets coming back? And what about Draymond? And what about Curry? Where are they?
Golden State's down in 3.
Huh. I don't know if I'd have them that far. Of course, I'm a big Jimmy Buckets guy. I really and I know we've had the discussion for years. I think most Wolves fans and maybe basketball fans in general aren't big fans of Jimmy Buckets. They think he's too self-centered. But I think Golden State should be popped up into that next year. I think that's about right. I mean, it's hard to argue against what Oklahoma City did. They had the best record in the league from the start of the season to the end of the season. They play. Look at even the Wolves have taken notice. Finch said after the season was over, it was I don't know, it was right after the draft or when they were doing this when the rookies were playing the summer league, where he said, "Yeah, and I think this year I'm going to start playing 10 players." Really, might have wanted to start doing that. I've never understood unless you're 9 through 15 are just awful. I don't know why you wouldn't give them. You might have to depend on them someday. Again, right now the Wolves are on, what are we going to do at point guard? What are we going to do at point guard? Well, maybe if Rob Dillingham had played more than he did last year, and I know he got some significant minutes, but maybe if he had played more, we would, he would at least be further along in his development, or B, we might know this guy's really not the future at point guard. And again, another half dozen games or another 30, 40 minutes, is that really going to make that much difference? Well, it'll make some. So you play 10 deep. You got the best player, one of the best players in basketball, the guy that won the MVP in SGA. Holmgren has already shown in year number 2 how good he can be. He got the big max contract. They've got a lot of other talented players on the club, and I would say they're one. And yeah, I'd throw those other 3, the Wolves, Rockets, and Nuggets in that same spot. So yeah, I'd say that's fairly accurate. I'd go with that.
All right.
Question number 3.
We're gonna win, Twins, we're gonna score.
It's now time to delve deep into Twins territory.
So the
Twins.
Twins.
Let me keep playing. It's all I am.
Minnesota Twins today.
Go now.
All right, so the Twins lost to the Dodgers 5-2 last night in L.A. Byron Buxton led off the game with the home run of Shohei Ohtani, but Ohtani responded with a 2-run homer of his own in the bottom of the first.
It was dramatic.
Right.
Sorry, I missed it.
Will Smith went yard twice for the Dodgers and escaped with a victory when Carlos Correa's attempt at tying the game was caught in the wall in the 9th. What sticks out to you from last night's loss? Because you watched it, obviously.
When I do this, you're supposed to add more to the question because I'm still chewing.
Okay. Oh, you're
just say the Minnesota Twins are an American League team. Just do something. Just tap dance for me.
Okay, so even though you didn't watch last night's game, what do you what sticks out for you for what you wish you watched?
I understand the question. You don't have to keep going on and on. I guess the idea that I don't know. Everything you highlighted, there's really not much more to it. For me, it's like, it seems like the season has now become an exercise in futility. It's it's you have high aspirations, low expectations, and I think there were high aspirations for the team when the season started. The Poll Out Pocket Protectors told me that we were deep and talented in the everyday roster, that the Twins will swing the sticks, and that our starting rotation was deep and talented. Our bullpen was deep and talented, and we had a very good team, and we were in the playoff mix. And some of that's true, but it's never. I've said this so many times. I just have trouble with preseason prognostications because that's when you're expecting if everything falls into place, and you could say that about pretty near every team in the league. I mean, you got in baseball, there are 30 teams. You could say that for 10, 12 teams, that these teams, if everything works for them, if they stay healthy, and if their best players perform up to their capabilities, and their role players play their roles properly, all those teams have a chance to make postseason play and make a run and maybe make a deep run and get to a World Series. Well, yeah, but it never works that way. It just doesn't. There's always going to be, and we saw that with the Lopez injury, our best pitcher, or 1A, 1B with Joe Ryan. He's been out for, I don't know how many weeks now, 6 weeks, 5, 6, probably out. Maybe he might be back in August, might not be until September. So Ober, who was, I guess, starter, he was number 3 on that on the depth chart for starting pitchers. Well, he's got a hip injury now. He doesn't appear to be out for too much terribly longer, but it's and then Lewis has been hurt. He hasn't, other than his 2 home runs the other day. He's been just awful at the plate. Let's just call it like it is. And Buxton's been brilliant. We've had some other nice surprises in the Clemens kid. The 2 guys we got during spring training, Bader and France, have made nice contributions. Brooks Lee is okay. And we've had some play, but it's just I only take from it is we lost again. We've lost 3 of the last 4 since the All-Star break. So, yeah.
All right. Do you want a 4th or do you not want a 4th?
You do whatever you want to do.
Do you want a 4th?
You're running the show. You're the producer.
All right. Do you want to go long? Do you want to go long? Do you want to stow? Okay, we'll go long.
And now it's time to go in the trenches.
All right, so ESPN.com ranked the best projected starting lineups for all 2025 NFL teams. They have the Ravens at 1, Eagles at 2, Lions at 3, Bills at 4, Chiefs at 5, Broncos at 6, Commanders at 7, Rams at 8, Bengals at 9, 49ers at 10, and finally, the Vikings at 11. Do you agree?
I don't know enough about each team's lineup. I mean, yesterday we had, and then I was alerted to it by a listener. Somebody texted and said that the guy who wrote the piece for whatever website we were looking at is a Vikings fan, because he had the Vikings as, I think he had the best offensive line in the league and the 5th best defensive. No, was it best front 7 on defense, and then the 5th best offensive line in pro football? And it's like I kind of was surprised at either one of those. So you can make all the preseason prognostications you want until they start playing. I don't know. I look at we've talked about this since the day the season ended and the Vikings went into the free agency and the draft and acquired players. It's on paper, it looks like they should be a pretty good club. There's some questions in the secondary. Again, to these 2 guys in the interior of the defensive line and interior of the offensive line, are they able to contribute right away? And are they can they rebound from injuries? And how good is McCarthy going to be? So, I'm not convinced that we have the best. But again, if it's 11th, I don't know, 10th. So you got the 10th best roster. What if it's 12th? What if it's 8th? I mean, what if it's 13th? It's how it all comes together during the season and how the schedule plays out. So, yeah, let's go. Great list.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 Questions. Well, actually, 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
Let's do this. Let's play music.
It's going.
I can't hear it. Yeah, there you go. So let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come back, More controversial Vikings news for you. Mark Rosen will join us at about 2 o'clock. Right now, the Kara has a keyword for us to try to put $1,000 in your hand.
All right, so the fan and BigDeck.com wants to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword check at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. That's keyword check. Enter it now at KFAN.com.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/iHeart. That's greenlight.com/iHeart.
This is Jacob Goldstein from What's Your Problem? When you buy business software from lots of vendors, the costs add up and it gets complicated and confusing. Odoo solves this. It's a single company that sells a suite of enterprise apps that handles everything from accounting to inventory to sales. Odoo is all connected on a single platform in a simple and affordable way. You can save money without missing out on the features you need. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
A treasure trove of bananas has been stolen, and it's up to Donkey Kong and his buddy Pauline to get them back. This unlikely duo is going on a world-smashing adventure, using DK's destructive abilities to explore an underground world, and the power of Pauline singing to activate wild transformations. Donkey Kong Bonanza, available now. Rated everyone 10 and up. Only on Nintendo Switch 2. Game and system sold separately.
Man.
Get ready to laugh. Comedy legend Bill Engvall is back at Treasure Island Resort and Casino on Friday, September 5th. The blue-collar comedy icon may have retired, but he just couldn't stay away from the stage. Here's your sign to catch him live for another round of side-splitting humor. Get all the details at tidecasino.com.
Level 13-14 pass, Common Man program. I'm Common. She's Tara. No, it's Kara. Kara. How many other names can we rhyme with yours?
Sarah.
There we go.
Mara.
Oh, won't you smile a while for me, Sarah? People, the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line has been blowing up with rumors of Ozzy Osborne's demise, and I now am seeing what I think is legitimate. The Guardian, I think, is legitimate. They're from across the pond. They are reporting as of 10 minutes ago, Ozzy Osborne, Black Sabbath frontman and icon of British heavy metal, dies at age 76. The singer, who later became famous on reality TV show The Osbournes, dies less than 3 weeks after his retirement concert. The story by Ben Beaumont Thomas reads as follows. Ozzy Osborne, whose gleeful Prince of Darkness image made him one of the most iconic rock frontmen of all time, has died at age 76. A statement from the Osborne family reads, "It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osborne has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time." And that's the end of the statement. No cause of death was given, though Osborne had experienced various forms of ill health in recent years. Osborne was one of the most notorious figures in rock, an innovator whose eerie wail helped usher in heavy metal, a showman who once bit the head off a bat on stage, an addict whose substance abuse led him to attempt to murder his wife, and later a reality TV star, much loved for his bemusement at family life on the Osbournes. His death comes less than 3 weeks after his retirement from performance. On July 5th, Osborne reunited with his original bandmates in the pioneering group Black Sabbath for the first time since 2005 for Back to the Beginning, an all-star farewell concert featuring some of the biggest names in metal. He told the crowd that night, and he was referring to his extensive health issues, including a form of Parkinson's and numerous surgeries on his spine. He said, "I've been laid up for 6 years, and you've got no idea how I feel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart." He was born John Michael Osborne in Aston, Birmingham in 1948, the son of a pair of factory workers. Tough upbringing, as well as living in relative poverty. Aged 11, was repeatedly sexually abused by 2 boys. It was terrible. It seemed to go on forever. He told the Mirror in 2003. He was also jailed for burglary. "I was no good at that, bleeping useless," he admitted in 2014. The industrial working class environment fed into the sound of Osborne's defining musical project, Black Sabbath, whose heavy sound revolutionized British rock music. The band's bassist, Geezer Butler, said in 2017, we wanted to put how we thought about the world at the time. We didn't want to write happy pop songs. We gave that industrial feeling to it. Named after a Boris Karloff horror movie, the band, also featuring Tony Iommi on guitar and Bill Ward on drums, released their self-titled debut in 1970. He left shortly. The most notorious incident involving Osborne happened in 1982 when he bit off the head of a dead bat he believed to be a stage prop while performing in Des Moines, Iowa. He later went to the hospital to receive a precautionary rabies shot. He also claimed, and this was corroborated by his one-time publicist Mike Wall, to have bitten the heads off 2 doves during the 1981 record label meeting that went sour, having originally intended to release the birds as a sign of peace. Osborne has 2 children with wife Sharon, Jack 33, and Amy 35, and 2 with his first wife Thelma, Jessica and Lewis. His marriage to Thelma had deteriorated because of his alcoholism, and he later admitted he couldn't remember Jessica and Lewis being born. And the story goes on and on and on. I have a message out to Brian Oak for Emergency Rock Talk. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get a hold of us yet today or not, but yes, apparently, and I've had several people say, time to call the angel of death, Brian Oak. We do have a text message out, calling all cars, calling Brian Oak. We'd love to hear from you. If not, we can talk about it again tomorrow. So what we'll do is we'll take a break. We'll come back. Mark Rosen will join us about play some music. Will join us about 40 minutes from now here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. This is Jacob Goldstein from What's Your Problem? Business software is expensive, and when you buy software from lots of different companies, it's not only expensive, it gets confusing, slow to use, hard to integrate. Odoo solves that because all Odoo software is connected on a single affordable platform. Save money without missing out on the features you need. Odoo has no hidden costs and no limit on features or data. Odoo has over 60 apps available for any needs your business might have, all at no additional charge. Everything from websites to sales to inventory to accounting, all linked and talking to each other. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
A treasure trove of bananas has been stolen. And it's up to Donkey Kong and his buddy Pauline to get them back. This unlikely duo is going on a world-smashing adventure using DK's destructive abilities to explore an underground world and the power of Pauline singing to activate wild transformations. Donkey Kong Bonanza, available now. Rated everyone 10 and up, only on Nintendo Switch 2. Game and system sold separately.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/iHeart. That's greenlight.com/iHeart.
And
Ozzy Osborne. Black Sabbath.
We've got something big cooking, but we can't tell you just yet.
Can you please tell me? Can you give me a hint?
Tune into the Power Trip Morning Show this Wednesday at 8 a.m. for an announcement that you'll absolutely want to be a part of. Don't miss out.
What do you think it is?
It could be anything. I have no idea.
Corey Cove has now made another $1 million on the Initials game. He's made $2.5 million. No, that wouldn't be it. Meat Sauce is changing careers, and he's going to become a laboratory test animal. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let's say you were in a motorcycle accident.
Okay.
And you dumped it on the freeway, and you sheared off your lips. Would you let doctors put monkey lips or pig lips on your face, or would you just go without lips? I know I just kind of threw this out of you. You've never really had much of a chance to consider.
I go for maybe the monkey lips, I guess.
I would too, because you don't want to be lipless.
Yeah.
Especially when they're cold dead.
You don't need to tell people where your lips are from. Honestly, it's kind of cool. Right?
Well, I don't know if it would be cool, but yeah, I mean, it would be a conversation piece.
Yeah, someone might call you monkey lips, pig lips.
Someone just sent me a text message. Breaking news, Ozzy Osborne died.
Right.
We're aware of it.
Yep.
No, but I do appreciate the help. I don't... Are you familiar with Ozzy Osbourne?
Yeah.
And do you know him from his musical work or from that TV show or just from? I mean, I'm assuming I could be. I don't like to make assumptions, but I guess I do. You weren't a big fan of Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne because that was well before your time, right?
Yeah, I can't say I'm a huge Black Sabbath person.
Yeah.
I feel like my first memory of any Osbourne is the TV show.
Yeah, and I never saw the TV show. I saw clips of it and of it. It was like a reality show,
Yeah. Wanting to be the Kardashians a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I was just going to say it was probably sort of in that same vein, though I would think it would be a couple of different plot twists. I being that's the Black Sabbath was from my musical era. As Brian Oak would say, and again, I do have an emergency call out to Brian Oak, and it might not be till tomorrow that we do for our regular edition of Rock Talk. He always likes to say when we bring up a group, you don't have to fill in the blank group, but you have to respect them. And that's how I would feel about, the Black Sabbath, I'd say it's that. I've mentioned this on the radio before. Most bands that I enjoy, I put them in a category called, they're in my half a dozen. And what do you mean half a dozen? Well, I like about a half a dozen songs, right? There are few bands. There are more than a few. There are many bands where I like almost their entire, what do we call it, discography, their entire body of work, where there's not much I don't like. And, obviously those that listen to the Common Man program on a fairly regular basis, why, I don't know, but because you do, I appreciate it. But, the Beatles, there's not much I don't like. There are some songs by the Beatles that I'm not a big fan of. I just say, that's okay. It's just filler.
You gonna go to the Paul McCartney show?
No.
That just broke Ticketmaster?
No. So, but most of it's, I like most of it. But most bands fall in that category, and that would be like Black Sabbath. Oh, yeah, I like Iron Man, and I like this, and I like that. Deep Purple. Oh, yeah, about a half a dozen songs. Highway Star, Smoke on the Water, sure. My Woman from Tokyo, sure, I like that. And that's kind of where Black Sabbath. So again, you don't have to like Black Sabbath, but you do have to appreciate what Ozzy Osborne and Black Sabbath meant to rock music, heavy metal music, and again, for those of you because we just found out the news just broke literally in the last half hour that Ozzy. It's funny, they do these bands will do these farewell tours, right? And I think we've all grown accustomed to farewell tours mean you really never have to say goodbye because they'll say this is it, we're all done, we're never coming back, and then all of a sudden the bills start to pile up. The solo career is not going as well as you thought it was going to go, and suddenly you go, you know what? We're going to get back together again. We're going to put the band back together again, and then they always end up doing it. And they'll do that over and over. And then some acts just never stop touring. Willie Nelson, I don't think, has ever taken a night off in his entire life. I don't think Bob Dylan has ever taken a night off in his entire life. They enjoy working. It's what they do. They're immersed in their work. It defines who they are, and that's all good and happy. There are bands that have said, we're done, and they never get back together. They just don't. We talked about Led Zeppelin a week or two ago with Oak. I think they reunited in 2005 or 2010 or 15 or whatever to do some special show for Buckingham Palace or something. I don't remember what it was. Kennedy Arts Center, whatever it was. And so that was one time, and that was it. They just never did get back together, but most bands eventually do. So I remember when they were doing the Black Sabbath farewell tour, I think I even said, well, no, they'll get back together again. But in this case, I think Ozzy and his family and those close to him in that really tight-knit group that he would call friends and family, I think they probably knew it's almost over. So it was like, well, I got to get out there one last time and reunite with the band. So this truly was a farewell concert. And that concert was how long ago? 2 weeks, 3 weeks at the most. And now he's gone. So he knew that he was at that. He had to have known he was at the end of the end of the end, that it was over. And so if he was going to get out and do it. And, I think a lot of people, including myself, kind of just roll our eyes, shrug our shoulders, and shake our head when they go farewell tour. This is it. We're never coming back. Because they generally, Meat Sauce and I have pulled that scam before. We did the It's Over tour. And then our next one, it's the It's Over tour, and this time we mean it. So they do it all the time. I saw this NFL story. Are you familiar with a player named Ndamukong Suh? Have you heard the name before?
Yes.
Ndamukong Suh played for Nebraska, was a first-round pick. I don't know if he was the first pick overall by Detroit all those years ago, but he was a first-round pick. He was their first-round pick. And he just announced his retirement recently. And he was he could play a little bit. He was the number 2 overall pick by the Lions, according to this story. Was a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro selection every year except one. With Detroit, however, Suh was then allowed to walk in free agency in 2015. Recently, Suh said on his Facebook page that Detroit should have paid him more than Matt Stafford when he was up for his first contract extension. Here's what he said. Detroit, in my opinion, when I first came out, really gave me the short end of the stick. I should have been paid more than Matthew Stafford because I was the next first-round pick for them coming out in the draft, and I felt like I was going to be a cornerstone for them, but they didn't value me enough to say, hey, you're not going to get paid more than our quarterback. In the caption of the Facebook reel, Suh wrote that the identity of the Lions offense was built around Stafford and Calvin Johnson, while he and the defensive line were the headliners on the other side of the ball. Basically, he says he was the quarterback of the defense. Here's what he wrote in this caption. Says, I was a cornerstone of the Lions, just like Stafford, just like Calvin, but the pay never matched the weight I carried. I wasn't just a defensive tackle. I was the guy offenses game plan for. I was one of the guys setting the tone in the locker room and on the field. And while quarterbacks get paid the big checks, I was the one putting my body on the line every play, chasing down QBs. They built the offense around him. They built the identity of the defense around the D-line and me. You don't talk about the lines of that era without mentioning Cal Johnson or Matt Stafford, myself, and our D-line. So, yeah, I believed I should have been paid like them because impact isn't just about stats. It's about presence, influence, folks wanting to play with you and for you. Lesson, if you're carrying the load on the field or in business, don't be afraid to ask for what you're worth because being valuable and being valued are two different things. Will you write that down? I want you to take that to heart. Because being valuable and being valued are two different things. And if you're carrying the load on the field or in business, don't be afraid to ask for what you're worth. A close circuit to my good friend Donnie in the corner office, Donnie Lundquist. Greg Swedberg, who, by the way, he just... where is Greg today? I mean, yesterday he was...
I didn't see him today.
He was... yesterday...
Being inducted in the...
I was just getting into that.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, it's okay, go ahead.
No, please announce it. No, after you.
Take it away.
Oh, I thought you were you were blanking for a second. Sorry.
I never blank.
All right, come on.
He was inducted into the Country Radio Hall of Fame yesterday in Nashville. And he had a long list. We found a long list of people he thanked. I didn't thank anybody with the fan, but I guess we're not country. And so I guess that only makes sense. But he was, he's not back yet today. And then Chad Abbott, I'd like to say to those three, I think I'm worth more than you're paying me. I think my value is more. Now, Calvin says you can go ahead and say that. He recommends doing that, but that doesn't mean you're going to get paid for what you. Don't be afraid to ask for what you're worth, but I don't think it's always going to work that way. And I guess I understand his frustrations because it's, the quarterback is always the big ticket on the team. They just are. It's and he's right. I mean, what he did for that club and that, team's game plan for him. He was one of the guys in the locker room that set the tone of the team. He was a team leader. He laid it on the line. Guys are in the training room. Sometimes it doesn't work. Guys are laying it on the line. It's bandwagon. It really is. He was laying it on the line because when you're playing on defense, defensive line, you're getting your bumps and bruises. My only response to that would be you should have just been born not quite as big and husky, and you could have been a quarterback. You'd make the big money because that's just the way the league works. The quarterbacks make the majority of the money because it's as much as I'm a big defense wins championships guy and appreciate defensive side of the ball. I think that most fans love watching back to pass. He throws touchdown, JJ. So I think that's what people want. So. But yeah, I understand because you see, I mean, the pay of the non-quarterback, while many of them make big bucks. What did Jamar Chase just sign for? What was he $40 million a year? Well, whatever that highest paid wide receiver is, highest paid defensive lineman, offensive lineman, defensive back, linebacker. You have the highest paid in all the different positions, but quarterback dwarfs them all, and it's always going to be that way. So, I don't. Yeah, I feel for him, but I'll give you an example here in radio. Forever, the most important time frames in the day were morning drive and afternoon drive. In other words, people going to work and coming home from work. Because most people then, this isn't the days before streaming, when you could take your radio with you anywhere you want to go, or before podcasts. People can listen to any radio show anytime they want. whenever they want, right? But back in the day, it's like radio was, you had to listen live, you had to listen immediately. And so more people, and now people are working out of their homes now. There's not as much of a rush hour as there once was, but there still is, generally speaking, more listeners to cull from in the late afternoon and early in the morning. So that's why those people that's why they get paid the big bucks. And the same thing, the quarterback is the number one spot. Now that's changing in the radio business. As a matter of fact, I was just alerted to it that I just received a text message moments ago from this is from one of the coroners in the coroner's office. It says, let's just say summer has not stunted your growth. So let's just say things are going well for us. And so we do appreciate your patronage, and we thank you for listening each and every day. So, yeah, I get what Ndamukong Suh is saying. He feels as though he should be paid more than Matt Stafford. I don't know about paid more than the quarterback on the team, but he was as important to that team as Stafford was. And then, again, he says you can't talk about that era of those Lions teams without mentioning me and Calvin. It's like, well, even with Stafford, Calvin Johnson, and Ndamukong Suh, the Lions never really were very good. They didn't have enough other pieces to go with it. I mean, I think with Stafford, they had 3 playoff appearances, and they went 0-3 in all 3 of those games. And so if Suh, I suppose, was a part of 1 or 2 of those. And he was also a cheap shot artist, too. I mean, he was a guy like to stomp on people and he'd been called out for by a number of people. And that the whole cheap shot stuff, that's what I've never understood is when a player cheap shots another person, it's like, these are the guys that, they're your brethren, right? You're all in it together. It's a game. It's entertainment. And you're out there cheap shotting guys because you can't control your temper. And it doesn't seem to make any sense to me. But Suh did that. He was, I mean, there have been a number of there have been a number of instances in where he lost his cool and I mean, I think he did it to Rodgers once, didn't he? Did he stomp on Rodgers' chest one time? It's like, come on, dude, get control of your emotions. You can't be out trying to injure other players on the team. It's like the Bounty Gate thing. What goes through these guys' head? And I don't know how often. I don't remember what. I'm sure Ndamukong Suh. Let's just see, Suh punishment for, let's say for stomping Aaron Rodgers. For stomping Rodgers. Did anything happen to him? Let me see what they did. $70,000 fine. In December 2014, Ndamukong Suh was suspended for 1 game for stepping on Aaron Rodgers. Oh, his leg. I thought it was his chest. Sorry. However, the NFL later overturned the suspension upon appeal, reducing it to a $70,000 fine. Suh claimed his feet were numb from the cold, and he didn't realize he was stepping on Rodgers. My feet were cold. They were numb. Suh's action was deemed a violation of the NFL player's safety rules. While the league initially suspended him, they later acknowledged his explanation, stating he didn't intend to harm Rodgers. The NFL's decision to overturn the suspension and impose a fine was met with some skepticism, with Rodgers himself expressing doubt about the accidental nature of the play. However, the fine of $70,000 was ultimately upheld. And look, an Aaron Rodgers stomping, I don't get too upset about that, but I don't think there was any question Suh was what his intentions were there. That's certainly not his. That wasn't his first time crossing the line, and I don't know if it was his last.
What are you laughing at?
No, I'm not laughing. I'm smiling. This is starting to work out really good. We're starting to get a vibe. We got a good vibe going right now. I think that's what we got going. We're going to take a break. Mark Rose in the legendary one. I'm sure he'll have all sorts of campfire stories for us because he was out roughing it somewhere in southern Wisconsin for about 4 or 5 days. We'll see what he has to say. He joins us next here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Football is back.
Let's go, baby!
On July 26th and 27th, teams across the league take the field for Back Together Weekend, presented by YouTube TV.
Let's do this for the fans!
With 2 full days of practices, player interviews, and behind-the-scenes access, it's a can't-miss NFL reunion. Woo! Back Together Weekend, presented by YouTube TV, July 26th and 27th. Go to NFL.com/BackTogetherWeekend for more information.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
A treasure trove of bananas has been stolen, and it's up to Donkey Kong and his buddy Pauline to get them back. This unlikely duo is going on a world-smashing adventure, using DK's destructive abilities to explore an underground world, and the power of Pauline singing to activate wild transformations. Donkey Kong Bonanza, available now. Rated everyone 10 and up, only on Nintendo Switch 2. Game and system sold separately.
Saks Off 5th, up to 70% off every day. Summer is officially here. Time to dress like it. From breezy linen and floral dresses to chic sandals and beach-ready swim. Saks Off 5th has the designer styles you'll live in all season long. Plus, shop new arrivals every week. You'll find Alice and Olivia, Valentino Garavani, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for up to 70% off every day.